I love a good bunker. I make no secret of it. And I also love security systems. In fact, some of my earliest redstone videos that I made on this YouTube channel were of various different security systems. So I thought I would combine the pair of these things and create the most secure bunker that I can build in Minecraft. Now, one of the easiest ways to make something secure to start off with is to actually hide it. Funnily enough, so we're going to build a super simple secret entrance that is going to keep this thing concealed. Which, I'll be honest, isn't that exciting. You guys have seen me do this a ton of times. So if we just pop down a redstone torch here, that'll be broken, our door will open up, and we'll travel through into the first room of our many-room bunker that we're going to be constructing. This one is going to be dedicated to color combination locks. Now, these color combination locks are going to have to be incredibly compact to fit within the space that I've given them. I mean, look at this. We're going to have, well, they're going to have to be, oh wow, okay, so that they are literally going to be directly next to one another, because you need one piston tape for the actual colors themselves, the things that you can see, and then you need another piston tape which tells the machine where you actually are in the piston tape. It's kind of like, it's like the brain behind it. I'll explain it a little bit more when we have them in place. But first I actually have to build them, and that's going to be difficult because, as I say, these need to be directly next to one another. They're 2 blocks wide, they can't power each other, so they have to be completely independent of one another. And it's tough. This is how much I've done. And I don't want to tell you how long I've spent doing it. Finally, I've managed to make it work. So I'm just filling up my cauldrons. This is the brain circuit here. And then on the other side, we have got the color circuit. This is the one that you're actually going to be able to see. Now, when we hit this button right here, you can see that everything cycles around. I hadn't actually tested it with all the colors in place, but it looks like it is all functioning. So if we get ourselves something like a comparator running out of the brain circuit, then you can see that that comparator is currently powered, okay? And we're going to keep pressing the button until this piece of glass moves in front of the comparator. Then you can see the comparator switches off, and that means that you've got the correct combination for this one module of the combination lock. Now, obviously, when you chain all 4 of these together, how many blocks do we have? 12? We've got 12 blocks per combination lock. When these 4 modules are chained together, we're going to have 20,736 possible combinations in just this one room alone. That would take a long time to crack through brute force, wouldn't it? So let's build the rest of them. And I think we can all agree that this setup looks pretty mean, especially on the inside of the room. Very, very nice. Okay, moving on to this room here. Now, as you can see, I've got some item frames up on the wall. This is going to be an item frame combination lock. Each one of these has got 8 possible combinations. There's 4 of them. Let me do some maths. 4,096 possible combinations for this setup, which combined with our color combination locks gives us 5,308,416 possible combinations so far. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of possible combinations already. And the best thing about these combination locks is that they're really, really simple. This circuitry right here is pretty much all of the logic. You can see we've got one of these circuits for each one of our item frames, and this yellow circuitry just connects all of those up. And all this does is it gives an output when you're in the correct position of the item frame. So currently, all of these item frames are in the correct position. This is the position, and the way that you set the position is by putting this item frame one position before where you want the actual position to be. Did that make sense? I think that made sense. So this position right here is one position before this. If I was to right click this item frame one more time, it would go to this position. I think you all understand. You know what? I'm really enjoying my old school combination locks at the minute. I reckon we go real old school. Levers. Lever combination lock. So this is 2 to the power of 12, which is 4,096 once again, which means that now we have reached a number that I can't read. Is that 2,174,000,000? No. 21,743,271,936 possible combinations in 3 rooms. We've done that in 3 rooms. And to the 4 people out there who don't know how to build a lever combination lock, this is what it is. They're so crazy simple. These are some of the first redstone circuits I ever worked on. If you want the lever to be down, then you have a redstone torch behind it. If you want the lever to be up, then you have redstone dust behind it. So this is the correct combination for this combination lock right here. You can see we've got ourselves a redstone output. Right, moving on once again, and I say we go down a floor. I know this isn't really the focus of the video, but I really like how this bunker is coming together. I really like the blocks that I've chosen to use. It looks like an MI5 James Bond style bunker. I can imagine this being underneath some secret building in London somewhere. Oh, and it's also worth mentioning that originally I was going to have doors between every single room, so once you completed the combination of one of the rooms, the doors would open up, but then I realized that then the combinations don't stack, because it's kind of like you've got 20,000 possible combinations here. If you somehow manage to crack that, then you know that that's been completed. Whereas if you stack up all of the combination locks and they all just run into one door, then you have a stacked combination, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I'm sorry, this video has been very maths based, and I think that's going to stop after this clip because the numbers have gone astronomical. You see, these three droppers right here don't look anything special. These three items in my inventory, although they have weird names, nothing particularly exciting about them. But here's the thing. We need to put each one of these items right here into the droppers. All three of them need to be correct, and when we hit that button right here, that will trigger a part of the circuitry out the back, which tells the system that we have had the correct combination inputted. Now, if you take a look at these items, not only does the player who's trying to crack this lock have to pick the right items in Minecraft for all three droppers, which is hard enough, but also they have to guess the correct name for these items, which by that point, you know, you're talking more possible combinations than there are particles in the universe. And if you were to try and crack it yourself, you'd probably be here until the end of the universe and then some. So I think it's safe to say that already things are pretty secure, but I'm going to keep on going just because it's quite interesting. Next up, we have got a rhythm key. Now this is a concept that I came up with many years ago on my YouTube channel. I can kind of remember recording the video. It's like a vague, faded memory, but the idea is that it's a combination lock that not only requires you to get the right combination, but you have to hit them at the right time, hence the rhythm segment. So I have just got to work out how on earth to actually build this thing. Also, things are getting pretty tight in the redstone department here. Let's see if I can time this perfectly. So it goes this, 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 this. Nice. Okay, so that redstone torch flicked on, and that means that we've got the correct combination. So I'm just going to hook that circuit up to some form of T flip-flop, which will activate and stay on once we've nailed that combination once. Oh, and in case you're wondering how this works, it's based entirely on repeater timing. So the idea is you want all of the redstone signals to reach the AND gate at the end at exactly the same time. So for example, this one right here has got the longest delay. I think it's 20 redstone ticks. So that means you press it first because obviously it's going to take the longest to reach the end, whereas this one has got the smallest delay of just 4 redstone ticks, so you press that one last, and you have to press them at the correct rhythm so that all the signals reach the end and fire off this redstone torch. Anyway, on to the next room. And this one we've had to drop down a tiny little bit because the color combination locks are so big, so I think this is a good opportunity to also have a staircase going down there to add another layer to our bunker, but I'm thinking that this is our lectern combination lock room. Each one of these lecterns can have 15 possible combinations because there's 15 different signal strengths that can be outputted by them depending on the page of the book that you're in. Which, although I said we're not going to be doing numbers anymore, that's 50,625 possible combinations just for this room alone. And the redstone behind it is very similar to what we had going on earlier with the item frame. So if we take a look in these lecterns right here, you can see that I am on the correct pages for each one of the selections. So it's page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, going around like this, and we just have placeholder writing inside each of the pages, which was remarkably difficult to think of, by the way. Thinking of a bunch of random items is actually really tricky, but if we look at this redstone line back here, you can see that on the correct page, that redstone line has turned off, the redstone torch has turned on, which of course means we've got the correct combination for this specific room. Right, moving on. And I'm thinking on this one right here, we have almost like a pattern-based combination lock. So once again, it's fairly similar to the color combination lock that we started with, but it's going to be a pattern all the way across this wall, and it's going to work horizontally. This is going to be an interesting one to try and construct and try and fit within this area here. Actually, you know what? I'll be honest. It was fairly plain sailing, to be honest with you. If we hit this bottom one down here, you can see that that is working. If we hit this top one, I was about to say I haven't actually tested it, and that always bites me in the back. So now that the inputs are actually put in place, you can see that is all working well as well. So now it's time to start getting the colors in. Once again, these are the brain circuits. These are the things that control the information. The colored bits are just the things that we can see. And let's face it, they look pretty cool, don't they? Especially when we start shifting them around. Very nice. I am going to need to remember what the combination is. I've already totally forgotten. This is not good. And I tell you what else isn't good. We now have a big job ahead of us. You see, here is our bunker in all of its glory, and here is all of the redstone, and all of this redstone needs to be connected together to create one big uniform circuit. Oh boy. The thing that's most complicated about this is that some of these have got the correct combination in them, some of them don't. So for example, this one doesn't have the correct combination, so that should be giving an output. This one has the correct combination, so it shouldn't be giving an output, which it's not. This one has the correct combination, no output. Okay, that signal is then being sent downwards through the layers into this area here. Is this giving an output? This shouldn't. No, this should be giving an output because this isn't the correct combination. Oh my word, I'm getting confused. Quite some time later, I think we might be good to go. So let's go down the line on this one. Right, first things first, we actually need to open this place up and travel inside. Now, I have set up all of the combination locks so that they don't actually require too much input from me to get them to the correct combination, because this is a tricky thing for even me to remember. So each one of these just needs to be set over to blue and pink. Okay. Okay. There we go. So that is the correct combination right there. Now each one of these needs to be pointing down towards that left-hand corner there. So that should all be correct. This combination should be something as simple as this. Fantastic. Now, if we move down into this layer here, we have got the 3 items that we need to put on the inside of our droppers. So these are our little identification keys. So that goes in there, that goes in there, and that goes in there. Okay. That should have triggered that part of the system. So far, we're on to a winner. Now we have to do the rhythm key, which is this. Oh, okay. Didn't quite get on right. Okay, let's try that one again. This. Oh my word, I'm so bad at hitting the buttons. Right, ready? This. We got there in the end. I really need to work on both my rhythm and aim. Anyway, going down to this layer now, we have got to flick this one through to be monitor. This one needs to be paint. This one right here needs to be ceiling. And this one right here needs to be door. And then if we shoot down to the bottom, we need to hit this button once, transfer those across, and we need brown in the top right-hand corner. And there we go! Our doors have just opened up, giving us access into our bunker. Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll level with you. If I had spent many billions of years trying to crack that combination lock, probably longer actually, trillions, and just so many years to crack that combination. If the doors finally opened and this was in the chest, I think I don't know what I'd do. I mean, what would you even do? I'll leave you guys to discuss that down in the comment section, because unfortunately that's all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya! You know what? Recording this video has been so much fun because it has taken me right back to the early days of my YouTube channel, especially discussing the ridiculous combinations that come up when you're building combination locks. You know, going into the billions, then the trillions, it's always a nice feeling. It's cool. I love this sort of thing. I'm a full-blown nerd for it.